it up for Mr. Jefrey Heath.
I don't know karate. I just thought that was a badass way to take the stage. And I was correct in my assumption, because that was awesome, right? Give it up for me! Thank you. I do, however, because of that high kick that I just did, you bear with me, I do need to get my spleen jostled back into shape. It's coming, hold it. It's coming. There it is. All right. So I do not know karate, but I do have a couple moves that I've mastered. So, for example, this one here. Hi! Hi! So what you'll notice in that move there is it totally protects my right nipple. Okay, and that is, nipple safety is very, very important. It's often overlooked, but not on my watch. If someone were to come at my nipple, I'd destroy him, right? Or at least make his forearm very red. Hey! Hey! Yeah. Now, what you'll also notice is this side of my body here is totally exposed, right? So if someone were to come at me with any sort of right hook, what the? I'm in trouble, right? So what I have to do is, when I go out drinking, I have to remember that I can only pick fights with guys who are missing their right arms. And my nipples will, and even then that's a 50-50 chance if I'm going to get my ass kicked, but my nipples will be safe. So, yes. I'm climbing Mount Whitney in October. Has anyone ever done that? All right. They sound like some badass mountain men. Woo, yeah. Mountains and shit. Now at 14,500 feet, Mount Whitney is the tallest mountain with the highest peak in the continental U.S. It is a butt kicker of a hike. You have to be in shape for it. Now, I tried climbing it last year, and I did not make it to the top. I just got too exhausted. I got cramped up. I just couldn't go on. And but the other hikers, they were very helpful. They were like, "Hey, bud, can we give you a hand? Maybe get something out of your car for you? It's right here." Yeah, you can still see it. It's right here. It's 4 spaces, 4 parking spaces, and then a quick, yeah. So maybe we can get something out of the glove box. Maybe a moist towelette to wipe all that sweat and shame off of your face. So this year, I'm hoping to make it out of the parking lot. And so I've been training hard at the gym. For 2 hours a day, let's get back there. I need a math teacher to come up here again. 2 hours a day, 7 days a week, for 8 months straight, I've been training at the gym. And I've been training exclusively on the elliptical machine. Have you guys seen the elliptical machine? You know what that is? So, yeah, it's a great workout. It sort of has a weird and, awkward movement to it, but it really gives you a good cardio pump. I'm just concerned that I'm going to be the only person on the trail hiking like this. I can do this all night. But when you train on a certain machine for 2 hours a day, 7 days a week, for 8 months straight, that movement is going to be burned into your psyche, right? That muscle movement, that muscle memory, your body's going to absorb it. And so I now walk and run like this permanently. Let's do it again. So, yeah, I don't get invited to a lot of cocktail parties, and so I do a lot of stuff alone. For example, I went to Chipotle last week, and as I was driving into the parking lot, I looked in the window over there at the restaurant, and I noticed there was a line all the way from the front of the restaurant to the back of the restaurant. What is it about this place? Why is Chipotle so popular? What's the draw? I do know that they have a guacamole there that is so delicious. It is out of this world delicious. It's so good, I don't know whether to eat it or dip my balls in it. So I do both. The guacamole tastes a little funny afterwards, but my balls are delicious. Yeah, you saw that coming. Now, the other people in the restaurant, I get some very, very angry looks from the other people in the restaurant when I do this. And so, to ease the tension, I offer them a taste. Okay, but only a nibble, only a nibble. Then they're gonna have to get their own guacamole, okay? I'm not running a soup kitchen here. Now, as I mentioned, I pulled into the Chipotle parking lot, and I saw that there was a line. I'm like, damn it! So I hurried up and parked my car. And as I got out of the car, I noticed across one row over, there was another guy getting out of the car right at the same time that I was. You know, my first thought was, oh, hell no, this guy is not getting to the guacamole before I do. No way. So, right at that moment, the race to the door was on, right? Have any of you ever done this? You've ever raced a total stranger in a parking lot to make sure you got to the door first in whatever restaurant or Starbucks or theater? And you think, we've all done it, we all think we're being subtle, right? We think the guy doesn't really notice that we're doing it. But let me tell you, this is what we look like, okay? What the fuck is he? What is he going faster? And then you speed all the way into the restaurant. Now with me, I threw all that out the window. I didn't even want to be subtle with this guy. I just basically, the first thing when he looked the other way, I'm like, see ya, sucker! Beelined it for the door. I'm like, I've been training, dude, yeah! The guacamole tasted very delicious that day. The taste of victory. I went to a nightclub. I met a woman at a nightclub about a month ago. And she said to me, she said, I like you, but I don't want to have sex with you. And I told her, I said, you know, earlier, another woman said to me that she didn't want to have sex with me either, also. And so I've already committed to not having sex with her. And I don't want to cheat on her by not having sex with you, okay? I'm just trying to be a good guy here, right? I just want to do the right thing. Anyway, after a few drinks, she fell for that logic. Yes! And we went back to her place, and when we got there, I basically just came up with the burning question. Can I interest you in some guacamole? It's delicious. That's my time, guys. Thanks.